Mabuhay, Kamustika, welcome. How are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea, now known as LVBTS.com. Virtual mate. Come on, get real. Can a virtual mate provide more fun than anything you've experienced? Okay, let's talk about that. A while back I did a video about love dolls, so why not this apparent upgrade? Subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea, not Lust Beyond the Sea. This channel is about real, genuine relationships. It's not about finding a way out of the dilemma of loneliness that involves fantasy. Leave comments here or at my new lvbts.com website, linked at the very top of the description box. Remember to get notifications for future uploads if you haven't been doing that. Topics like today make my blood boil, while at the same time making me wonder why I even care anymore. Let's take a break from the regularly scheduled programming to talk about Virtual Mate. In the description box will be a link to Mr. Jeff Dillon's video. He is the CEO of Virtual Mate. Right below that, I will put a link to the video that I did earlier called Are Love Dolls Capable of Meeting Real Needs? I will read a few paragraphs now from Jeff Dillon about his product. In quoting, through advanced technological development over time, Virtual Mate's performance will become growingly real. What does that make it now? Her performance will replicate that of a real person without traditional stress or limitations. This makes Virtual Mate interaction more fun than anything you've ever experienced. Again, not a real person. We are able to create virtual mates based on any character or actress who provides us with permission. As we gain more copyrights, you'll gain access to more virtual mates based on the appearances of the icons you know and love. While the current version has been designed for male users, they say our female user version is in development. Your virtual mate receives your depth, speed, strength in real time and responds accordingly. Thus, she moves exactly as a real human would move. We've built different sets of micro-length motions which combine into different types of motions and convert seamlessly. Players will never feel their virtual mates are acting like a robot or repeating the same motion all the time. And that's the end of the quote that I'm going to give you. So, as a man who felt like he was single since the Stone Age, I can see how something like this would have appeal, although I wouldn't pretend to think that there is anything real about it. Maybe society is right for something like this, with an apparent de-emphasis on marriage. Mr. Dillon is trying to take advantage of this predicament, but I have a better idea. Keep looking for a wife and learn about marriage, which you can achieve here at lvbts.com. I think a virtual mate is a dead mate. The whole experience is a skeleton of a real relationship. Make no bones about it. There are better ways. Would virtual mate be better than a love doll? I want to call your attention to the statement, through advanced technological development over time, Virtual Mate's performance will become growingly real. Her performance will replicate that of a real person without traditional stress or limitations. This makes Virtual Mate interaction more fun than anything you've experienced. Now, sex or lovemaking is all about interacting with another person who wants to please you. They might emphasize reality with these products, but there isn't anything real about it. It is just fancy masturbating. Nothing but fantasy, not reality. In real life, sometimes you can't perform. Sometimes your partner can't perform or isn't interested. Sometimes you have an argument to work through before there will be intimacy. That's not included in the packaging list of this product, intimacy. In real life, both people need to be careful with how they talk to each other, their body language, facial expressions, because that will affect whether there will be intimacy later or if it will be a little forced. That is the reality all married people live in, which is good because you intuitively know that how you treat each other will set the stage for any intimacy or not. Now, I asked Mr. E what he thought of Virtual Mate, and here's how he replied. I mean, come on. How is this sophisticated product going to produce anything but shame and deepen the loneliness someone feels? When they see a man and woman holding hands, laughing together, they know that couple has something they don't, regardless of how simple and innocent it is. Both this and love dolls are just fancy masturbation, and it's lifeless and hollow, which will deepen the loneliness and isolation. What all the manufacturers fail to address and what men who use this product fail to realize is sex is just 10% of the relationship. The rest of the relationship is out of the bedroom. So, like you said, when they walk out in public and see a happy couple, that person will probably lash out as none of these products are meeting their needs of intimacy and feeling loved. So, while it may keep some preoccupied, I think it will further compound problems and further skew the SMP. That's the end of the quote from Mr. E. Now, this is me. There is no interaction, no intimacy, no relationship, and that is what people innately want. Without traditional stress or limitations, as he says, you don't have reality either. Part of the challenge of sex is being such a person that your wife finds you attractive, and it won't be your wallet or your intellect. She wants to be valued, loved, adored, cherished. A doll or some device can't feel any of that and can't respond in any way by choice. Also, learning how to make up after an argument, then having sex is wonderful and requires skill that no one needs to have with this product. I shouldn't have to say, but sex is about interaction, using your brain and your emotions. Another comment from Mr. E. The product is lifeless and is a trap for most men to go for it. It won't bring them the happiness that they seek. He says, I feel the men who go for this product would be in a very bad mental state. I just can't imagine getting to that point and using such a lifeless and humiliating product in order to try and make yourself feel better. Love dolls nor this device will never replace the love of a wife or another human being that can't be bought or replicated. End of quote. And, I feel the same way that Mr. E does. Even if they were giving away virtual mates, I would still say marriage is way better. I fail to see any benefit from using this virtual mate, even if one were to transition into marriage later. I do think it could cause more harm than good. And why bother with the real thing if it's more fun than anything you've experienced anyway? If God believed this was the best way, he would have developed this product himself. The best way has always been and always will be marriage, so don't wait too long to take that seriously, as there is a point of diminishing returns in marriage from a sexual aspect. Initially, I was going to title this video Virtual Mate or Stalemate, because I think there are no more moves to make once a man or a woman has sunk to this level. They are admitting they are not good enough for a real person. They will never attract a real person and are content to settle for silicone and plastic. There is also concern about conditioning yourself to not be able to respond to a real person. That's what can happen with a poor substitute. Do you want to end up seeing a sex therapist to undo this? It may sound great, but we live in a real world, not a virtual one. Anything but the real deal is a bad deal. Next time we will return to our regularly scheduled programming here on Love Beyond the Sea.